Okay.
$1 million Snow.
What's happening, bro? How you feeling, man?
I can't complain, man. You're a little bit dark. You're a little bit in the dark, but you know that might be how you want it.
Yeah, right. I mean, for the circumstances right now. What's going on, man?
I can't complain, man. I was just telling my audience, man, how we connected on a level yesterday, how you had me cracking up, man, and I was picking your brain for a bit last night, and you decided to come on, man, and I really appreciated that, homie.
Know anything to assist someone that's trying to come up. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue in our community, that we don't assist each other. Some people get like they get helpless with the loser and door, and we don't never assist each other as African Americans. And African American situation is always somebody of another culture that come in and help us up or help us out. It never be one of us that help each other. Never. There's always another intensity, or if they do, it's someone over the borders and assist. As in a culture of one of us assisting each other, fair. And I always use the Eminem and 50 Cent situation as an example. 50 Cent was going through crazy stuff, and a lot of these moguls stepped back and watched him. The only person that came and got him was Eminem, Dr. Dre. But M is the one who said, "Joe, I'm going to get him." And look what M said out. So I always use that as an example. Say, like, we never miss each other. So when I see someone I can assist and they upcoming, I doing it on a professional level, as dictating have rated on everything. I'm this, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're trying to get across, or what you're trying to, understand.
Yes, sir. Respect to you for that too, man. Talk to me about this, man. Let's start here. Before we get into the background of $1 million Snow, you know what I'm saying? Because my mouth dropped, by the way, when I got the message, like, damn, is that really him? I had to check and see if it was some type of ghost account, because that type of shit been happening. I'm like, wow, that's really the God right there and shit. But before we get into that, let's get into this real quick, man. Check this out and tell me something about this, because I still got this shit. Do I still got it lit up? Yeah. Tell me about this.
All right, what up,
real quick.
So check it out, man. Earlier today, this was posted on $1 Million Snow's Instagram. It reads, "You want to know who Melly really is? A child molester, not just any kind of child molester, but one who molested his own daughter, Nana, who been going out with my little cousin since they been teenagers. Nana confided in my aunt and said my father, who is Jamel Melly Matrix Jones, been molesting me since I was little. I have no idea why Nana would say that. I guess you have to ask her or Melly."
You can hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Basically, as for Melly Matrix, he have a daughter, right? And daughter been cousin for some years, and I guess he wasn't comfortable with that. But he know that's my cousin, so it was like it wasn't too much he could do. But that's his daughter, so I guess I got involved in everything. It seemed with the whole bigger about the situation. His daughter dating my little cousin. My people told me, like, came to confine. My people's like, yo, my father touched me when I was a little girl. So I don't understand that kind of behavior, to be honest with you. So it sound March noon to me. Even now, it still sound March. But when it's coming from someone's daughter, you got to ask yourself, why is she saying this? You know what I'm saying? You saying it out of I have no idea, because I kind of be like, I don't understand a 40-year-old man touching a 14-year-old girl. I don't know how to read. You heard what I said?
Now you starting to get a little bit choppy on me for a minute, man.
I said, you know how some people don't know how to read?
Yeah.
I don't understand that behavior when somebody say, yo, this guy's 6 years old and he raped an 8 year old. I see. I can't understand that. You know what I mean? Like that shit is crazy. So you know, she expressed it. You know, I don't know. Like I said in that, I think what I said in my, you gotta ask up because I don't understand that behavior, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to talk to you behind the scenes, man, because I got the women of Wakanda actively searching for this young lady to see if she'd like to speak and get her story told or whatnot, you know. Because I got some women on my channel, my moderator. Shout out to the women of Wakanda, and they got their own stories. You feel me? And they'll definitely make her feel comfortable if she'd ever like to speak about that situation out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact though, man. But you know that I pointed it out because you know certain people, you know, when you shouting somebody out, man, you gotta understand who you shouting out and who people are, man. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what's wrong in our culture. We don't, we don't, we have a sense of pretending or putting up a facade of for who people are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what keep everything cloudy when you're dealing with individuals. You can't put up no war with me. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, cause I don't have no. I just don't like. It ain't that I don't give a. You know, but it's like I don't have no. I'm a Capricorn, so we don't have no coup for no. No, it's black and white with us. You know what I'm saying? There's no in between. If we fuck with you, we
Mm-hmm.
fuck with you. If we don't, we gonna crush you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just keep it all the way, you know, on the straight path, man.
I remember when we spoke last night. You was telling me. I ain't even gonna say that. I'm just gonna play this clip, man. And you let me know how you feel.
Just know, yo, Jim, man, shit you doing is corny, boy. You know, it's just corny, man. You know, you know. I mean, it's good to try to keep the dude name alive, but I was there. I was around. I was in the dog pound when Melly was going through his situation. You know what I'm saying? There been times that Melly wanted to kill you, and I had to stop him, man. You know, because he felt he was gonna leave the rap game broke, and you was responsible for that. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of these guys wasn't in the immediate circle. You know, I was there. So that shit y'all doing, that propaganda y'all spreading, cut it out, man. Just really cut it out. You know, you really on Frank had timing, man, because you wasn't there when it counted. When he was in society, you wasn't there. You wasn't nowhere to be found. You know, yeah, you came through, probably smoked a blunt here and there, show face to keep a relationship, but when it came to the educational part of it and the guidance, it was like a step forward. He was absent.
Is it your take that Jim Jones came around for protection, basically?
Yeah, you know, listen, right? As for the whole Jim Jones situation, you gotta understand my young boys came across him, I think probably in like 2002, 2003. At that time I had 75 years of life. I was gone. So when I guess however they came in contact with him, they being who they be, fresh out the, you know, just getting acclimated with the whole gang life, ran into him on some level, and you know, he utilized them because he seen that they was miseducated and they were just some wild guys because you know where they come from, being they from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, which is a wild borough. You know what I'm saying? People from like boroughs like Queens and Harlem, they tend to utilize guys from come out of the Brooklyn sector because of, you know, Brooklyn guys have a certain kind of aura or reputation of being violent. You know what I'm saying? So people from like Queens and Harlem, that's not saying they don't get busy, but they just might not be as violent as, you know, back then of people of the Brooklyn era. You know what I'm saying? So Jim, like, you know, listen, man, we got a dog pound, man, you know, and One time me and Melly in there, we handling some business, and my little homie is stressing, man, and he break down. He like, yo, blood, I'm not leaving this rap game broke. I killed Jim. No, he said I killed Capo, and I was like, yo, can't do that, man, because at the end of the day, Capo did introduce you to a certain kind of lifestyle. You wasn't intelligent enough or business minded enough to do other things in that position. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of like walk him down. You know what I mean? Like, yo, listen, man, it ain't that serious, man. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, you feel some way towards Jim because of his behavior, antics, and certain things he said in the studio, back years ago when he was splurging money on bags and shit, you know. Um, so I had to basically just talk my young boy down, man, for not getting no. Well, he already had the idea for not reacting one day on his idea because when you in this hip hop industry and you feel like you put so much work in for someone who ain't returned a favor or kind of left you out to dry on several different occasions, you can have mixed feelings for a person depending what your mood is or what you're going through at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I guess at that moment, that time, he felt like, that nigga Capo owe me, man, and I ain't leaving this shit broke or I rock Capo. Well, it'll however it gotta go down, But I had to talk to young boy. I talked him out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess he got his composure back. But you see, I know Mel. I can't hear you.
That's what I was gonna ask you. You weren't speaking hypothetically.
In regards?
You weren't speaking hypothetically in regards to uh, him saying he wanted to kill him.
Yeah, he was like, yo, listen, man, I killed Capo, man. I ain't leaving this rap game broke. And I'm like, yo, chill out. You ain't gonna leave it broke. We out here. We gonna make something happen. You know what I'm saying? That was like probably 2014, man, 2013. Around that time. That was like 6, 7 years ago.
What was Jim doing for the guys behind bars?
Um, Jim wasn't doing nothing. That's why like certain guys like Magoo and Frank White, and Frank White is that's my bro. We was just together on my second parole violation. We was all together is a super maximum jail in New York called Sullivan, and that's where they sent all high profile people at, all high profile gang members. Being that I was asked SAG when I came through for my second parole violation, the administration seg me for like 5 months until they like the certain kind of trouble cases inmates. They gotta place them. So they had placed a lot of us, a lot of people. Basically, Sullivan and Shawanga is the maxi maxes of New York State. Don't get me wrong. You have Attica, Clinton, Elmira, these maximum jails, but them two jails where they keep high profile inmates at. So me and Frank White was just in Sullivan together before the feds took him for that North Carolina indictment with the 9 trays. So basically, when me and Frank White was together, niggas ain't jacking Jim. They not, because Jim wasn't never doing the right thing. You dig what I'm saying?
I feel you.
You
I
know?
feel you. Is his status correct? He's supposed to be some type of big homie on the set. Is that correct, or did he pay his way into the set?
I mean, he's no big homie whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a big homie. I don't know where dudes in New York get that title. He might have been able to put it on a map due to his lyrics. Excuse me. Due to his music lyrics, he was able to, exploit it more. But it wasn't just for him to exploit it on a music level for the sake of the gang uprising. It was more for his own uprising. You know what I'm saying? So with that right there, you gotta understand, people in New York, they like the dick ride. Excuse my language, man. They like the really frank ride, man. And it's like this, right? So-called big homies in New York, you could buy your way into a set. You feel me?
Absolutely.
That's not foreign. But being that, it's like people in New York is like stardom struck. You know what I'm saying? Like they see a star, and next thing you know, they just start doing a whole bunch of goofy shit that, like, you be like, yo, you know, you around. It's the goofy shit you doing, and that's a Jim situation. So Jim is able to manipulate the young homies due to the fact that he got a little stardom in his hip hop industry. And what happened? All the young homies want to rap. They all want to rap. So it's an easy catch. You know what I'm saying?
You think they really wanted to be rap or they really wanted to be famous, like acknowledged?
Say it again.
Did they really want to rap or did they really just want to be famous or acknowledged in the spotlight?
Yeah, you know, they just want to be seen, or they want to be able to say, I was with this person, or I was with this person. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, you know, it's about. I don't know, but I said it in one of my other interviews. I give you an example, right? When Casanova was going through all his stuff, you know, back and forth, I came to, you know, he called on me and I came to hold him down. So I think we had Cityscapes, and the guys was up there to do some bad things to Cass and that boxing dude Javonte Davis. So I'm the only one from my set around all the apes and all that at this strip club with Cass. I got the videos and stuff, right? But you know me, I like to stay in the cut, man. I'm not a poster boy. You're not supposed to see me. And that's how I kept it for years with Melly. You see Melly, you don't gotta see me. There's no reason to see me. If it's not broke, we don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta know who I am. I mean, people know who I am now because of you know, I'm not in the game. I'm not in that lifestyle no more. So I'm able to reveal myself and show my face and, you know, able to explore certain things. But back then, people who know who I am, and they know who he is. They know why he's in that position. You know, for the peoples on a bigger scale might just see him. You dig what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
but basically, staying behind the scenes, I don't want to go off track. But I was with Kaz, and after everything got, you know, called off, we inside of a Tahoe truck. So I'm sitting behind the driver, Kaz sitting behind the passenger. So one of the young Billies come inside the truck. He got like a rabbit on or a mink. I don't know. I think it was a rabbit or something. So he's a young kid. He's like 19 years old, but he's super hype. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's hype. So, you know, I'm sitting, when he jumped in the passenger seat, I'm looking at him. I'm on my phone, but I'm like, you know, I'm looking at him. He talking to Cass, and he like, yo, I got the shooters with me. Yo, I got the. So Cass checked the nigga like, yo, homie, chill out, cause I got the big homie with me. So he looked over at me, and I looked at him, and I'm like, you know, and he said a few words to Cass, and he got out the truck. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, look how young he was and so eager he was to do something. And then when Cash checked him, like, yo, chill out. I got the boy with me, man. You know, and this how these young guys be. They be so eager to jump out the window and say they got the shooters. Everybody's a shooter, nigga. Everybody is a shooter, man. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So this nigga Sonny Blanco just said something strange, man. One of my moderators said, you dropped your flag. He said, Snow, why you changed your handle to take advantage of Treyway because you've been dropped your flag?
Nah, yeah, basically, you know, it's just I'm off that, man. You know what I mean? I brung it there and I dismantled it by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only thing left from this here is for it to be taught in schools now, for other kids won't make the same mistakes as these guys did. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean the name is still there, but you know, that's for entertainment purposes, man. You know, I'm not into that. That been over for me, homie. You feel me? You got
Yes, sir.
I brung it there, man. Without me, it would never have got the best out of Brooklyn. You feel me?
So what happened? What happened to breach? Nah, fuck that. I don't want to go there yet. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. I don't want to go there yet. I want to talk right now. Let's go to the early days of Snow. We done went a little bit deep. I want to go to the Shaefer Rd organization, man. one of the deadliest New York gangs. I heard the most violent gang in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn area, or whatnot. That's where you came up at, right?
That's the second in command, you mate. That's I was under him. That was my big bro. He home now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Salute to him.
that's who raised me. Like, um that's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? And I've been with them ever since I've been like 12 years old.
What was it like? They said that. Damn, is my mic sounding distorted?
Now I can hear you. You sound pretty good.
Okay. Okay. They said that they recruited young members or whatnot, and basically set a trend for being violent and getting money in the Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn area. How intimate were you with in that movement right there? Or did you come along, as time went on, or were you relevant in starting it?
I came a part of that crew when I was like 11, 12 years old. And the younger crew they talking about is my cousin Kingpin, a close friend of mine named Spank, another close friend named Donnell, what we call Stash, and it was me. We was the we had a nickname like the Yellow Tape Gang, people would say, because when situations got crazy, that's what's all left behind was that yellow tape. So I came under them since I've been
Mhm.
11, 12 years old, man. The situation with that is this, right? I had a cousin named Shorty Gold, and he told on his case. Um, my his sister is my aunt. She got a she got a building on she lived in a building on Madison Avenue, right? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So my cousin Shorty Gold, he used to pump a lot of crack out that building till he got down with the crew. Now when he got down with the crew, they took the building over, and we was famous for making we taking apartments and we turn them to holes. A hole is considered a crack spot, but in a hole, everything is boarded up. The windows, the door, there's no way out the hole. You can't walk through the apartment to another part of the apartment. Everything is in that room. So I was young coming around, and being that I was coming around to see my family, Shorty Gold, and he was down with these guys, I got down with them. And I worked my way up through the ranks from Fat Bay, D Black to May May. And then once May May got me, he kept me. And that's how that came about, man. So anybody that know me is say, yo, he don't this the crew he come from. So if to understand him, you have to understand where he come from. To understand the non-trade gangsters, you got to understand where their behavior came from.
Mm. And
In
that would
my
be you.
in my hood of Bedford Stuyvesant, cause I
Mhm.
was trained with these guys. At this time, it wasn't no blood gang. So now when I brought my behavior from this organization into my own, these guys already know how I move because of the crew I come from. Because they know about my crew because they was young. You know what I'm saying? So they know how my protocol is established because of the protocol I had to follow and the rules when we was all the Chaka boys. Because there was rules
You
with
said
them.
the Chopper Boys?
Yeah, that's what they call us. Like in my neighborhood, they said that's Chaka boys. That's Chaka boys right there. Them Chaka boys right there.
Okay.
Like we control my neighborhood with an iron fist. That's why I'm kind of like the most hated overall because a lot of people in my neighborhood hated how we control with an iron fist. I know you probably read the article, so you see how we was moving.
Hmm. Deadly. Like deadly, violent. A lot of those words came up in a lot of those articles, man. Tell me about your predecessors, man. Chaka. and his brother, man. You know, what were they like? You learned at their feet, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again.
I said, what was Shaka Razor like?
Oh, Chaka, I love him. I love him, man. Chaka's a very, very, very smart, highly intelligent to the 10th degree. Very disciplined. Like we had to go to martial arts school and all that. You know, we couldn't smoke. We couldn't wear our sneakers could never be untied. Pants could never be hanging down. We had uniforms and we had structure. We had protocol. Like you would never see us smoking, drinking. You know, it was structure. It was a family that had very structure. And if you broke the rules, you got discipline.
Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure my mic. They say my.
Nah, your
I'm
mic
trying to fix.
is good. It's good. It's good.
You can hear it good.
Yeah, I can hear you good.
All right, I just switched to the speakerphone mic there. Let me see if that helps with the static on their end. That's what I'm doing over here, man. Your mic, oh, fix your mic. I tried, y'all. So you don't hear echo on me? I'm not statically on your end?
Nah, you good.
Okay. Okay, so how did we get
Basically, we was at
the how did we get from the Razor organization to 75 years to life? How take me to that in between? What was it? What was Snow Billy like in between that time?
Well, after we caught the federal indictment in 1995, I was see the indictment came in 95, but being that when you catch a federal indictment as a teenager, they have to throw it out as they can't charge you under certain federal laws as a kid. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in 95, I was on a run. And while on a run, I caught I was charged for 4 murders. And I blew to 2 in an attempted murder. I blew to 75 and I came back down and copped out to 25 flat.
Now that's a mean piece right there. 25 flat.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
on how many you say? How many was that? You say you was facing 4 and you copped the 2?
No. After I blew on a pill, I came back down and I copped out because I didn't want to go back to trial. So I copped out to the 25 flat on my pill.
That's a mean sentence, man.
What happened was, say it again.
I was about to ask you what happened with that.
Okay, I'm gonna take you from the beginning. Well, I had a town, right? It was called Wilmington, Delaware. We was the first New York guys to ever go to that town, right? So made a lot of money in that town. Anyone that knows me know, you know, we was the first New York guys, due to people from our projects in Brooklyn. I'm from Roosevelt Housing Projects, 128 Kosciuszko. I don't know if you heard about it's something big on the news right now about what's going on in my projects. 8 people were shot this morning. I'm from there. I'm from the 6th building, 128. That address is on my birth certificate. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the wildest building ever since the Roosevelt houses ever came about. 128, 6th building, Kosciuszko and Decal. You hear me?
I hear you.
So hold on, where we was? Oh, so my uncle quit, God bless his soul, and a family friend named Mike. They call him Shadu. He got 45 years. He been down like 31 now. They was the first ones to go to Delaware and take over Delaware. and that caused a big war in my building where I come from in Roosevelt. So being that they opened the floodgates, we was able to all go to Delaware and get money at a young age. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I had a friend that I brung down and he came home from the feds to get a couple dollars because he was fucked up in New York. So when I brung him down there, he had caught a parole violation and he allowed his brother. His brother was already with him, but his brother brung two more guys from my neighborhood to the town. And the era I come up in, if I bring you to a town, you can't bring nobody else without getting my permission.
Mm-hmm.
You see, in my era, if I brung you to Virginia to get money with me, you can't bring your own work, and you can't bring nobody with you, or you got to at least consult with me to say, hey, listen, I want to bring Joe and Black down to the town to assist me with the work or whatever. You just can't. I can't just come around and I see two niggas from my neighborhood down here, like, even though they cool with me, but that's not protocol.
Absolutely.
So what happened was, his name is Dredd. He caught he's dead now. Not none of my work, but an associate of ours. Both of them guys got 500 years apiece out of state. But back to what I'm saying is that Dredd, he caught a parole violation, and his brother was already with him, and that was already understandable because he came down months ago. So now I don't know his brother brung two more people down to the town. So when I see it, I don't trip or nothing because these is my guys he brung. But the protocol of not informing me is where they kind of stray at because this is not your town. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
you know, we have a sense of when we get this, like, I'm like Christopher Columbus. If I get to a town, you read the articles, man, so you're quite sure you know how we do when we end up in these certain states. That's a gold mine. You feel me? So, long story short, um, Dredd went back on a parole violation, and he got scared. He thought I was gonna do something to him when he found out that I acquired about why these guys was brung down here without nobody letting me know. So
Mm-hmm.
he tried to put a few contracts on my head. Um, with some killers too, some real older killers, man. That's from my project, and I ran into these guys in jail. Actually, one of the killers, I was actually in a cell with him in a shoe program, and I had got my level drop from level 3 to level 1. So when they told me who I was going to cell with, I was happy because I was gonna get some closure because he was one of the guys that denied the contract when Dredd came to him and said, "Yo, I need you to knock Snow off." But he said,
Mm-hmm.
"I'm not killing nobody for my projects." He said, "Yo, I'm not killing nobody for my project." So he declined boy offer. So now, uh, 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 an associate of mine who I was looking out for, he comes home from jail. He's not doing too well, and the guy who I told you who I brung to the town, he offered him 250,000 in a Lincoln Navigator to kill him, and I think half of the town if once I was removed. So hold on. When a female of mine's close female, she had told me about it. She knew too much for her to not be accurate on what was going on. So I guess dudes was pillow talking, and she pulled me to the side like, "Yo, boom, boom, boom." So I'm like, "Word." All right. Long story short, that night was a real wild night. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That night was crazy, and let me make sure I can remember. I don't want to throw you off track. the guy who took the, who accepted the contract on me, he came. They was in a car one night, right? That day, they was in a car, 4 deep, and I was like on in my neighborhood is called like Gates and Marcy. I was on Gates and Marcy, and these dudes was in a car, 4 deep, coming down from the other direction. It's a two-way street. So you know me, I'm always vigilant when I'm out in the street because I always got it. At that time, I was a real wild cowboy. You know what I'm saying? So I always got it on me, and I'm always ready to, I'm trained to go. So I see the car coming, and I'm looking at the stilettos that's in the car. I'm not looking at the car, but I'm looking at the moving figures that's in the car. And the way they behaving is they heads is moving in too many different directions. That's giving me the indication that they're looking for someone. So when I seen that, I starts to run to the car, firing. Boom, 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 boom. So they try to get up out of Dodge now, because now they caught off guard. See, a lot of people don't know how to react when the fire is coming. They don't know how to react under fire. So now that they see me coming towards them, they start to back up out and they crash like a block away. They crash. So, and actually, my gun jammed after like probably the 6th shot, probably. But mind you, they were still a little distance from me. But as they coming towards down the block, I'm like, here, I'm coming to meet them. So I'm already on them, right? So they was able to get away. So I went to my place, my little honeycomb hideout, was like a few blocks down on Putnam and Nostrand, and I fixed my joint. And then I doubled back. And I caught the driver. I hit him in his head. I caught my man. I hit him in his head, and his girl. I hit her on her neck.
Shit, I ain't even mad at you about that shit. Everybody associated with that situation gotta go, as far as I'm concerned, man. Did she have a play? Did she have a play on that? Or a part in that? Or she was just associated?
Um, when I pulled up to the set, man, and and I got the firing, man, I just had to, touch up everybody that was in the in that area. You know what I'm saying, for good measures.
Yes,
So
sir.
so
I done been there. I done been there.
so they charged me, but what the crazy thing is, when I got apprehended, they hit me with 4 in an attempt. So I'm like, I'm going through the procedure, and they only brung me to trial for the 2 in the attempt, and I pled guilty to a few more. You know what I'm saying? This sort of case could be closed. So that was my deal, was to take the 25 flat and plead guilty to all these unknown homicides. And I pled guilty to that. I was the only one in court at that time that ever was given that kind of offer to plead guilty, so they could just close things out. And I pled guilty, and I did my I had all that time. You know what I'm saying?
How much you give back? How much of it did you give back to him?
I gave back 50. I gave back more than that because I had 10 to 20 in Delaware and I had 20 to 40 in Pennsylvania.
So shit. Which you gave back like 70 or something.
Yeah, but with the Pennsylvania, I had 10 in. So PA took 10 years off. By the time my appeals and everything went through with PA, I already had 10 in on the PA case. I already had 10 in on the Delaware case. So with the Delaware case, they modified my Delaware sentence, and they modified my Pennsylvania sentence, and they ran it concurrent with the New York Times. So it was all 25 overall.
That's what's up.
And
That's what's up.
but you know, it's crazy, right? Because when I was young, so when you young and you got all that time, you're ignorant. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, you ignorant because I come from $1 million crew, so I had all the nice things at a young age. I had the handmade Cuban, I had the Rolexes, I had a lot of stuff that other kids wasn't able to have in that era because the crew that raised me. So I had a presidential Rolex. Like this, everybody in the crew had Rolex watches when Rolex watches was really, really big back then. And I'm talking about 1994, 1995, 1993. This is what I'm talking about. When nobody even knew about the Miami handmade Cubans. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
And
I ain't hip. I ain't hip right now.
you know, being with these guys, I've been everywhere. We used to go to the Beacon Theater, Nassau Coliseum, Madison Square Garden. All the Freakniks, all the Budweiser Super. Like, you know, I was young, but I experienced a lot and I seen a lot, and I seen millions of dollars with these guys because we had a video store on my avenue. We had a video store, and in the video store, that's where all the money would come to. And I was the only one out the young boy crew that Chaka would let in. When Chaka seen me at the door, he buzzed me in, and I go on the back, and it millions of dollars. And I know you read the paper, million. I'm talking about bags of money, money was
Absolutely.
flowing. You know what I'm saying? And so when I got to the penitentiary, it felt like I've done a lot in my life, but in reality, I didn't. But being that I grew up fast and I was with a certain kind of multi-million dollar crew at a young age, when I got to prison, I had a lot of money and I had a lot of hate because of the reputation I came to the penitentiary with. See, in New York, you have a lot of haters, and there's a lot of petty crimes in New York State Jail. So when a major figure come through, everybody is like, because people from your neighborhood is screaming your name, and your lifestyle precedes you. So now when you in these state prisons, a lot of people who are around you wasn't doing what you was doing. So
Absolutely.
there's a lot of jealousy and hate on, and I'm a guy who I don't care if you hate me or not. Fuck you too. That's my attitude. You get busy, I'll get busy. You dig what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
and I told you, I don't know if you read on one of my posts, but my ex-wife, she's a captain. And here it is. I'm coming into the penitentiary with a notorious reputation from my neighborhood and the crew I come from, and then my wife is a cop, and then I'm sitting on a bag, and I'm getting busy. So it's a lot of hate, and I ain't got time for it. So I let my nuts hanging. It is what it is. You see, I ain't got
Hmm.
no cuts on my face. A lot of these guys, they do a lot of lying when it come to me, man. Like I remember dudes saying they cut me in my face. One guy was bragging, yo, I cut that nigga, boy, I gave that nigga 300 stitches. And the kid he was saying it to was my young boy, and my young boy is a savage. His name is D-Rock. He's a savage. He used to beat up all the blood niggas. So when this kid was bragging about this, and my young boy sitting in the cell like, yeah, you cut him? He broke that nigga into pieces. You hear me? And come to
Hmm.
find out, the boy didn't do nothing to me, but he thought he was getting brownie points by doing corny, goofy shit like that. And that's what a lot of New York guys do, man. Let me tell you something about New York, right? They put the three bad bones on you in New York. And this is facts, man. This is why I bash the town so much because they do a lot of fake shit and a lot of hating shit. It's either you getting high, you a dope fiend, you a rat, or you fuck with the chumps. And this is what niggas in New York put on niggas when they have a strong name. This is a New York tactic, man. They specialize in this shit here. It's either you a dope fiend, you fuck with the chumps, or you rat it. These are the three bad bones New York niggas love to put on individuals who got a strong reputation or just I don't give a fuck type of individuals. This is what they use. But not to go off track, where was we at? We was
No, I like to talk about that. Why would they destroy a man's character like that? Why did they destroy a man's character like that?
say it again.
Why are they trying to destroy a man's character like that? Like you just spoke about.
Yo, you know, when you have a certain kind of charisma and a certain kind of style that other people don't possess, they will hate you. And being that I've been getting money since I've been 12 years, like you gotta understand, I'm a 12-year-old and I've been getting a lot of money from a young age, and people know my name. It brings a lot of hate, man. You know what I'm saying? Like people hate to hear about a motherfucker that's still young, been through so much, and still here. I've been shot in my neck and head, man, and I'm still here. And people hate
Salute.
that. They hate that. They couldn't even believe it at first. This is how wicked dudes is. They couldn't even embrace it till it came out in the blogs and all the court transcripts that I got shot in the head and neck. And they like, and then I got up, you know. But this is our culture. They like to bash you before you even get up. This is the African American culture. And I know some people say, oh, I say, listen, nobody ever did me dirty but my own peoples, man. Even when I came to help my own, they did me dirty. So understand where I come from and understand my behavior because of the people who I was subjected to be around in my environment. I didn't come out the womb as an evil and mean dude. You feel me? I didn't
Absolutely.
wake up one morning and say, yo, I want to hang a motherfucker, because individuals in our culture, they know how to stir hate up. You feel me?
Yeah.
And this is why I be the way I be with individuals. Like I stay on their neck because they don't want to see you make it, bro. Like you see how you want to come up, and I'm like, yo, bro, I reached out to you.
Yes, sir.
Yo, let's go back to the 50 Cent situation. 50 Cent was going through all that bullshit in New York. Not one motherfucker in New York assisted 50 Cent, bro.
Word.
It took somebody from the Midwest and the West Coast to come get that East Coast nigga, man. And that's why I respect Eminem. Nobody black came and got 50. Nobody African American came and got 50. It was Eminem, man. And I say that to say that's how it is in our culture. We don't never come together to assist one another. But we'll come together to assist one another. It was about destroying his come up.
Mm-hmm.
And
This nigga, let me pin this nigga comment real quick. Not to cut you off, because the nigga just said some strange shit, man.
what he said.
Here, man. I need to address him real quick, though. He said, we respect the shooter, not the nigga who got shot. Listen, homie, I got
Yo,
shot in my head too, nigga, and I bust my gun.
tell him
You
this.
feel me? I bust my gun, nigga. He was better that day. So fuck what you talking about, homeboy.
Right, but tell him
You
this.
know what I'm talking about for real.
What Jadakiss said, we don't want to hear about the shooter because he ain't kill you. We don't want to hear about
Absolutely.
we don't want to hear about the shooter because he ain't kill you, man. You heard what Kiss said?
Absolutely.
Know what I'm
I
saying?
love when they come in there talking that shit. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you though. I have to address him because he was talking.
mandatory. So that's what happened, man. And it's kind of crazy because remember, I told you the guys that my man who I brung to the town allowed to come to the town. They killed him, bro. Set him on fire and everything, man.
Set him on fire.
That's what they did down there in Delaware to him. You hear me? They both from the two of them is locked up now for that down there. They his name was Dredd. They shot him, put him in his car, and did him dirty. But those are the guys that he brung down here. I know who these guys were, spray painting dudes. He brung them to the town and they flipped on him. I was already locked up. I was already in jail when they flipped on him. And I got I made a phone call from the box and they say, yo, man, your man Dredd is he down for the count. And they told me what happened. I was like, damn, yo, by boying him? The same niggas that he brung to the town.
If you'd have been home, you think it would have went down like that?
You know what's crazy?
You think they'd have tried you even?
Well, remember I told you, Dred put the contract on me, right?
Yeah, a little earlier, yeah.
Okay, well, my glasses for prior to that day before that, I seen him in a car, and I tried to flag him down, but he kept going. So that indicated to me that something wasn't right. So the guy that's responsible for doing that to Dre, him and his cousin, he was in a Regal car with Philadelphia tags on it with a girl from the town. So he pulled over. I had a fee liable lawsuit on, but I had the grip on me, but I had a belt on. So you couldn't really tell I had the grip on me. Cause I got a fee liable lawsuit on, but I got a belt on my stomach with the joint. So he gets out, he hugs me, right? And he like, yo, little boy, we exchange words. I'm like, yeah. He like, when you come back to the town, mind you, he know what's going on. I don't know what's going on at this point. So 10 minutes later, my friend who took the contract is driving his car, the one who I just hugged, right?
Right.
So when he pull up to the light on Troop Avenue, I go to the car, right? And I can tell from the position the girl is in, she's leaned all the way back in the car. So his intentions was to shoot me through the window. But I fucked that up for him because I went to the car and I put my head in the car and looked at him and said, "What's up?" And I could see him fumbling underneath the chair. And I'm like, if you gonna do it, you gonna have to do it. You gonna have to give it to me in my face, nigga. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm giving him, I had a heavy chain on. And when I went in the car like this, and the girls leaned all the way back, but my chain is swinging in the car, and I'm like, yo, what's up? And he startled. So right then and there, I said, I'ma tear your ass up, nigga. You fucked up. I gave you the drop, and you fumbled the ball, nigga. So the next day, I seen him, his cousin, and old girl, and laid them all down.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that happened, man. And I got my time for that, man. And it was crazy because I think back now, and it's like being older. I said, damn, I thought I was really doing something back then when I was just starting to live, man.
That's the thing I tell people all the time. It's easy for a motherfucker on the outside looking in to judge or try to when they ain't never been in these situations before. Ain't never been under pressure. Like you said, a lot of these niggas been shotguns, but they ain't never been under fire. They don't know how to react when they hear that. They don't know how to identify a target and pop that bitch. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to running. Because all these niggas know is running. You feel me? So you absolutely right in that aspect, man.
Or they turn their heads. If you look at some of these little videos, you always see them ducking their head or turning some kind of strange way, right? They don't have tactical training.
Mm-hmm.
They got urban training. They don't have tactical training.
Since you said tactical training, and you said this a little earlier, it probably went over people's heads. I read on your Instagram that I don't know what you call it. Your ex-wife is that your ex-wife?
Yeah, that's my ex-wife. We no longer together now.
Okay, shit. Salute to y'all still. She's a captain, or is a retired captain, and was at a point in your life where you couldn't protect your family, and at a point where you needed someone to do it, and the only one you could count on was her. I thought it was real shit and real smart of you to have her go to the police academy and become a cop. Because
Right.
now she's a part of the biggest gang. That's the gang everybody's scared of. Don't
Big,
nobody want to fuck with the police. You know what
big,
I'm saying?
biggest gang in the world, man.
Absolutely. That was a very smart. That was a chess move. I don't play chess. I play checkers. I say that a lot. But that was a hell of a chess move on your behalf to
Right.
protect your family while you in there dealing with what you're dealing with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Salute to you.
Right. Right. Because I got a son by her. And me being absent now is like, coming from my era, and you seen if you read the articles how we played. So I have to think of that same kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, I
Mhm.
understand the lifestyle I come from. So what makes me think that karma won't fall back on my peoples?
Absolutely.
So to prolong that karma or to push it out the way, let me allow her to go into this situation and get that training, and now she's ready to rock and roll with individuals feel they want to play that kind of game.
And y'all raised a law-abiding citizen and a good young man together, I heard too, man. Salute to you on that. You
Yeah,
feel?
yeah, man. My son, he a school teacher, man. He a school teacher. I'm proud of kiddo though.
Respect, man. That's respect. And I say that to say this, man. It don't matter what you go through out there, whoever watching it, whatever you've been through, whatever you're going through, nigga, you can still come out of that shit and be the nigga across the screen from you. Be just successful. Be a father to your son, a husband to your wife, even, or whatever, wherever you at. He was a husband and a father in that box. And a
Yeah,
lot of niggas don't think that forward. They just sent the girl out of town. Like, you know what, baby, you gotta move. I'm about to send you to the south real quick. And I'll be home when I get home. And we'll go, you know what I'm saying?
nah, she stood right there, man. Now, like I said, man, no matter what, for the rest of her life, she will be a part of the biggest gang in the world. And if you say something to her,
Absolutely.
you're gonna have a million of them niggas at your doorstep.
Mhm. That's what's up, man. That was a hell of a move. So tell me about this. Now, not to switch subjects real quick, because I want to try to get to everything I can get to, man. Because I heard some wild shit. Like, like you said, you ain't got any buck cookies. You came home pretty. But I heard some men put their hands on Snow Billy in the penitentiary. Is that true or false?
I had several knife fights, man. You hear me? I'm listen, in the penitentiary, I bully all the tough guys, and they hate that. You understand what I'm saying? I told you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going. I would never. There's no reason for me to lie. My father told me you lie for two reasons: to get rich or save your life.
See, I heard it different. I heard you scared or you got something to hide. My father told me a man lie because he's scared or he got something to hide.
Right? And my
And that's
and
why
my
I tell the truth. I ain't got shit to lie about because
and
I ain't
my
scared of nobody and I ain't got shit to hide.
right. So my pop said you lie to either save your life or get rich. You feel me? And I tell you like this, right? Nobody never put their hands on me unless I warrant it, meaning that I welcomed it. I welcomed it.
Absolutely.
And I tell you like this, right? Look, I'm one of the most controversial dudes in the penitentiary. I got not one scratch on my face. You know why? Because I always brung it, or I always said, let's go lock in. Go get your knife. I got my knife. Meet me in the hole, and we gonna shake it out till the bells go off. And that's it. No one ever. I won't allow nobody to put their hands on me because I'm moving a certain kind of way. But this is what dudes do. Dudes, you gotta understand, man. I'm one of the most hated in New York because I play fair. One thing I'm never gonna do is allow another another gang to outpress another gang. And I say that to say, like, I tuck up for a lot of Crips when I was in the penitentiary. You hear me?
You said what now?
I tuck up for a lot of the Crips inside the New York State Penitentiary because at that time a lot of Crips was outnumbered, and I've had a lot of friends that was Crips. So when they
Mm-hmm.
to the prison, they will always see if I was there and say, yo, Snow here. And if I was in the spot, I'd be like, yo, it ain't gonna be no jumping them. It ain't gonna be no pass the middle on them. If y'all want to get with him, lock it. Get your knife. He got his knife. Y'all go at it. Feel me? It ain't gonna be no
Absolutely.
dudes on no one clip, especially if you from Brooklyn, because at the end of the day, I gotta go back to Brooklyn. And I can't have nobody be in the penitentiary with me. And they said I was in there with him and he let this happen to me. So I always kind of held the Crips down when they came into a pen I was in. And that's what made a lot of the Bloods dislike me and hate me, because I bad up. And a lot of the homies, they do sneaky shit. They not up front with theirs. Me, I'm gonna hit you in front of a correction officer. I'm gonna get right to it. It ain't gonna be no, I'm trying to get away. If you're an issue, I'm gonna do it right there where the dep is at, the superintendent, the lieutenant. I wouldn't give a fuck.
And
So
that's how you gain respect in the joint from other motherfuckers, because motherfuckers know you'll go wherever and whenever like that.
yeah, when it comes to a real individual, these dudes will always downplay it, man. And I understand that. I told you the other day, right? And this is facts. I was in a medium. First time in a long time. I never been to a medium before. We have a medium called Wyoming. It's across from Attica. They call it Baby Attica, right? So I'm there at the time, and I'm reading the book called Decoded by Jay-Z, and a lot of my friends from my neighborhood is also there. So I'm on my bunk reading, and another close friend of mine, a major figure. His name is Bar. He gonna see this. He's a major figure. We grew up together. He used to roll with 50 and he used to protect 50 and all them. His name is Monster Ball. He protect 50.
Which 50? 50 Cent or the
50
real 50 Cent?
no, 50 Cent the rapper.
Okay.
Hear me? His name is Monster Ball. This is my brother. And he called. He said, yo, he came to my dorm. He said, yo, Melly want to speak to you. He on the phone. So I went out to the yard and I said, yo, what's poppin', homie? He was like, yo, big homie, why everybody coming at my kufi for? Back then they were saying that I smacked your kufi off and all that stupid shit. So he was like, yo, why
Word.
everybody coming at my kufi for, big homie? And I'm like, and it's so interesting because I was reading the Decoded book at the time, and Jay-Z was saying in the book how everybody come at for somebody for the crown. So I quoted that to Melly. I said, yo, listen, if you get the chance, which I know he was going to get the chance because nobody reads books in the street. I said, yo, if you get the chance, pick up the book by Jay-Z called Decoded and read this chapter on this page, and you'll understand everybody who wears the crown. And I'm talking about, we could go back to the 1600s, before the Bible, you hear me? Everybody who wears the crown, you're gonna have somebody that's coming for it, man. And that's what I told him, man. And he was like, damn, homie, you right, man. I was like, yeah, though, blood. But I still had a few, I think I had like probably 2 years left or whatever. I don't really call home, man. I don't bother dudes, man. I'm just disciplined like that. I'm not into bothering dudes. I know what need to be done. I know what I gotta do. I've been going to jail since I've been a juvenile, like a kid. So I'm kind of groomed in that department, and what we were just that bud be having my we were just touching on.
Let me ask you something real quick. While we on the subject of that Jay-Z Decoded, my people, what? I never took the time to read it, but I just wrote it down again because a lot of people told me it was the offset of 50 Cent's Fearless. I mean, not Fearless, 50 Cent's 50th Law. How you feel about the comparison there? Have you ever read that?
I never read the 50th Law straight through, but I skimmed through that book. It's nothing like Decoded, man.
Okay.
See,
I'm a copy because you said that. And I'm copying your shit as well, man. Shit. How many books do you have out here? Is it just one or two?
Yeah, right now I got that one book that's published, the 69 Shots, The Rise and Fall, but I'm working on 2 books right now.
Is the 69 Shots on Amazon? Where can we get that shit at?
You can get it directly through I got the link on my Instagram page. Right now, I got 5,000 pre-orders right now. They just sent me my form. 5,000 pre-orders. All you got to do is go through the my link on my page. Go to www.penguinhousepub.com, and it's you can order it right through there. But if you go to my
Did you say
Instagram,
Penguin House?
yeah, Penguin House Pub at Penguin House Pub at .com. It's the link is in my bio on my page.
Okay, for sure. I'm following you over there, so I probably just go. I wrote it down just in case anyway.
Right,
But I probably just go over there and copy from right there.
Don't even worry about it, because now that we already tapped in. When I call you, I get them to ship you a few anyway.
My baby, I really appreciate that, man. That's real 100 shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna ask for the handout. I fuck with niggas. You feel me? And I fuck with you, so I'm gonna fuck with your movement. You feel me? You ain't gotta do that. Let me copy my book, unless you just gonna send me one with a signed signature that say, "Yo, Odin, this Billy, this the $1 million Snow." You feel me? I'd appreciate that one.
I got you. But yeah, let me address this, man. Because sometimes, right? I mean, I got tough skin, right? But what I don't like is this: an individual don't have to lie on me, because I'm gonna tell you whatever it is, even if it make me look bad. And if you go back to any of my old YouTubes, you will see me say, "Listen, even if it makes me look bad, I'm gonna tell you what it is, man." So I want let me tell you, I'm so brazen that I'm a light-skinned motherfucker. I can't let nobody put their hands on me, bro.
Absolutely.
I bruise fast, man.
Too much information. $1 million Snow.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't let nobody put their hands on me. But this is with dudes like this, when you dealing with a figure. And I watched this, bro. You know what? I watched this throughout my time, right? I watched dudes. I watched hating bum ass dudes throw dirt on so much good niggas' names. It's sad, bro. You hear me?
I hear you, for sure. I already know shit. Niggas throw dirt on my name all the time just cause I'm still here and I ain't in the fucking box like they people is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard people. No, you know what the crazy shit is? I heard people tell other girls about another dude and say, "Yo, don't fuck with him because he fuck with chumps." Just because this is a fly motherfucker and they hating on him, they tell a girl on a visit. Hopefully, they girl tell another girl, and now they looking at this fly motherfucker like he's some kind of chump. And he realer than the niggas who spread this propaganda. But this what corny ass New York niggas do, man. This is why I go crazy on the town, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing just cause I'm from there, bro. I'm gonna let it hang. This is the corny shit niggas in New York do, bro. If you're a person that's at a certain level, they gonna try to degrade you any which way possible.
Absolutely.
This is their tactic in New
One
York.
thing I don't do is I don't shit on a man for how he came up, what he do. I got a young nigga I groomed and shit. Let's just say that. If I was 12, he was maybe 9. His mother trusted me because I always brought her son back safe. But I said that to say this. He went to the army. He went to school. He did work. He went to Catholic school. I went to public school. I banged. I did what I did. He stayed out of trouble. He stayed in school. He got good grades. He went to the army, came back. Nah, a nigga will fuck with him because you would think he a square.
Right.
And he'd kill a nigga with his bare fucking hands. He always been from the hood. He just went to school out there. He was groomed by real niggas and killers. He already know what it's like. But because he got that training, like you got wifey back then or whatnot, shit, he'll fuck a nigga up with his bed. He don't need a weapon. If he close enough, you know what I'm saying?
My mother, right? She put my brother in military school, right? When he turned like 7 years old. She sent them to the same school Donald Trump went to. I'll post a picture if you want. I'll send you the picture. My little brother is like, he's like worth. My little brother is like this. You hear me? Like,
Absolutely.
like,
Salute to him.
yeah,
Salute to Snow Billy's little bro.
yeah, that motherfucker different. So he went to military school, right? And he got friends that's mercenaries, right?
Absolutely.
If you see these guys, you wouldn't have no clue these guys got 280 kills over and like you would look at them and be like, who this peanut? You would have no clue that this guy that's 80 pounds look like the way he looked is a stone cold mercenary.
Absolutely.
He'll walk
And
by.
that's how a lot of niggas meet their destiny. Just like that. Underestimating the next nigga. You don't put nothing past no. I don't put nothing past no nigga. If a nigga say something to me, I might believe him and pop his top off right the fuck there.
Hey, yo,
Don't make me believe you, nigga. Don't say some shit and say it in the conviction voice, nigga.
Right.
Like, I'll kill you right now. Then if I got that bitch on my hip, you done force me to pop your top off wherever I'm at. Because I believe you, nigga.
Look,
and that's what I'm going to tell the people. I was scared.
That's
He
right.
said he was going to do me right there. You know, he forced my hand. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the baby. Look at the baby, and I don't know what state is in Ohio or I don't know, but the mother was on a Zoom call and the baby shot the mother in the head. You seen that?
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
I did see that.
You know why that happened? Because whoever that girl had that baby around, that baby seen somebody do that. For that baby to
absolutely playing with that motherfucking man.
For that baby to point that gun at his mother's head and pull that trigger, that means she has some irresponsible individuals in her circle that was behaving in a certain manner that kid picked up on. And then all he did was rehearse it. And look what happened.
He emulated it. Absolutely. He emulated. And like I was speaking about earlier, I was talking about The Wire and how that little nigga that never liked Omar wound up killing him in the end. The little baby nigga wound up popping Omar. You hip to The Wire, right?
Yeah, I think he hit him in the store, right?
Absolutely. And I was telling niggas that his mind couldn't grasp the concept of reputation. Like, man, why are we giving this nigga money? Why are we running from him every time he comes? Right. And consequently, we never thought about that until the end when he popped his top off. That's kind of sort of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, niggas don't give a fuck when they don't give a fuck. It's consequences and repercussions to every motherfucking move made out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Whether niggas like them or not, they gotta come to grips with the fact that the rules don't exist. You niggas making them bitches up as y'all go along because y'all don't like what the fuck happened to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, there's no rules, man. Listen, let me say something, right? I come from an era, right, where this is the era I come from, where it'll be a group of guys, right, standing in front of a building. Two of them might be a target, right?
Absolutely.
So the era I come from, a motherfucker will call the police just to see if his weapon's over there. Once the police go over there and no one runs and the police search a perimeter and leave, they just told the other group that them guys is unarmed over there.
Absolutely.
Now you a sitting duck. How we know? Because somebody called the police. And they searched around where y'all guys is at. Now they know there's no weapons over there. So when the ops come to get in, they know you defenseless. See, you know, and I watched Stone Cold Killers play that game.
You use every element accessible to you in a war. I keep telling these niggas ain't nothing fair in love and war. If a nigga ain't on your side, he your op. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga ain't on your side or associated with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, he's an op. That's the way I always played.
Yeah,
and I ain't got no love for the other side.
That's a fact, though, bro. That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man. And hey, yo, man, I know, yo, this is crazy, yo. I'm glad we able to have a discussion, man, because you know I wanted to get some things out, man. You know, not just in regards to this, but you know, for the kid, you know, for the youth any of the youth that come across this, man. You know, I see a lot of shit going on in the world, bro. And I ran into a lot of kids, man, that when them when that cell door closed and I put that mirror over there, I see a whole different person, man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I hear them kids come in and they come in that cell on that 6-day quarantine, no book, no nothing but that prison manual from Spanish to English, and niggas sitting up in that motherfucking cell with no change of clothes for 6 days, and you put that mirror over there to holler at him, he ain't the same kid he was in the projects, man. He ain't the same kid he was when he was rolling with that gang, man.
Man, I know that's a hunter right there. I had that bitch since I was 14. Let me get it in the camera. That motherfucker is a wolf man standing on the mud. Man, listen, dog. I hunted the action in that motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was one of them. Like, I keep telling niggas there's different types of apex predators out here. Like, you got some niggas that
Yeah,
respect other niggas because they got a reputation, and then you got niggas that go at niggas because of that reputation. Like, that nigga ain't bigger than me.
right.
That nigga ain't colder than me.
Yes.
You feel me? And some niggas that associate themselves with niggas just to let those niggas know that you niggas don't spook me. Fuck
And,
nigga, I'm just as big a threat as any of you niggas. You know what I'm saying? You should be afraid of me
and
as opposed to what other niggas is saying.
right. And when I was that age, when I was 14, I felt like that. Like at 14 years old, right? Like like our attire back then used to be. You see these caps right here? We all
Mm-hmm.
wore these caps. We all wore Ray-Bans, and we all usually had long corn braids, and we'll wear like Nautica sweatsuits and shit. And we, like we had a certain dress code. Being a chocolate boy, you had a certain kind of look you had. So, um, damn man, my fucking memory is like very bad, bro. It's just like I got so much on my mind going. It's like, you hear me?
It's gravy, man. Shit, get it all up. Whatever you willing to speak about, we willing to listen, homie. I'm engaged.
When I was 14, that's the beat. Like I was on like bulldog time. You feel me? Like you always being that young, you looking like you just waiting for that. And being that I came up in that era, it was different. It was different than what it is now.
Absolutely.
Back then you didn't have kids getting shot. Individuals went for their direct target. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. We was taught to walk a man down. We
yeah,
ain't shooting crowd. I mean, if it got drastic like that, I ain't gonna front. Like I told you, I respect what you did when you laid everybody down because there are certain points when shit happens where a man will snap and anything associated with anything that did something got to go. So I completely understand that. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, anyway, like you said, my shit's scrambled too. But a lot of these niggas haven't been in the streets to that degree in order to understand the process even. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this, $1 Million Snow, while it's on my mind. Between when $1 Million Snow comes home from prison, how does he become $1 Million Snow? You know what I'm saying? What happens to take his mind to the next level on some limitless shit and get bread and start a company and a whole wave and put a set on and everything else? How did you do that?
you mean after I came home from the long stretch?
That was the long stretch, wasn't it? Or what? That was the first stretch
No, I mean
we just talked about.
I've been back on violations. I went back like 3 times on violations, a year, 15 months, then 6 months. I got 3 violations after I came home.
The violations wasn't longer than the stretch, though, right?
It felt like it, you know what I'm saying? But nah, yo, them violations is different, man.
Word.
That shit is, but like to answer your question, when I came home off the stretch, I still was sitting on some nice change. I was sitting on some good money, and I have a funeral home in Brooklyn. So when I came home, I immediately got back into what I do, and that's cremate. So in my mother's funeral home, I was doing all the cremation. So I was making $700 off of each cremation.
Bodies. You was cremating bodies.
Yeah, I cremate for my mother's funeral home. That's my job when I come home from off parole. Like, that's where I work at. That's my job, until parole.
Now that takes you to a different level in my mind. That just catapulted you up to a new level in my mind because, like I said, it's a difference between the killer and the murderer. I just told them that shit earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, the killer gonna pop something up, but a murderer can lay down the whole set and go eat dinner like nothing happened, not bust a sweat, not his pulse not out of order or shit. It's just a regular evening. You feel me?
Right.
That's the difference.
Definitely.
So for you to say that you cremated bodies, like all that other shit used to be white shit for me. When you see a motherfucker get cut up, when you hear that on the news in Detroit, oh, that's a white boy. Somebody cut a body up and his dick is in the freezer or his head is over there. White boy did that.
Yeah.
And I said that to say this, that shit is too personal, like cremating a body.
No.
You think that shit desensitized you to death in a certain way?
No, I was
seeing it up close and personal like that?
No, that's my job description for the funeral home.
But what you're saying is you didn't cremate no bodies.
No. Okay, when somebody passed away and the family said they want their bodies cremated?
Absolutely.
I'm the one that take the body to Jersey and cremate it, pick the ashes up, bring it to the funeral home. We have 90 days to claim the ashes. If you don't claim the ashes, we dispose of the ashes. I'm the one that go around to each funeral home, pick the deceased body up, and take it over to Jersey and get it cremated and bring the ashes back.
That's fucked up. Like I said, that's too personal for me. I wouldn't do that job. That shit would desensitize you to death in a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
And once you become desensitized to death, it becomes easier to take life because life becomes shit. You know what I'm saying? Steadily seeing death, you saying you picked up dead bodies and took them to become ashes to ashes and dust to dust, and then took them back. That's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up. I ain't saying it like that, but I wouldn't do that shit.
Like
it feel like the nigga has spirits on him. You feel me?
But when I come home, see, in New York, you gotta have a job on parole. They gotta have you. You gotta have a job and stuff. So, being that my mother got the funeral home, when I come home from prison, I go right to the funeral home. My job, and it's crazy because the parole officers, they used to, when they see me coming in with expensive stuff on, and they see what I have on, and the senior parole officers have been, oh, that's the front. Oh, that's Hardy. He got a funeral home, but they think it's a lot of money in that shit. They say, oh, funeral home, a lot of money. It's a lot of money in the long run. You know what I'm saying? But when they, it's crazy because I used to be in parole, and they be like, I might have a pair of Chris and Lou Boutons on. I might have a pair of Balmain jeans on. And the females, parole officers, they be knowing what everything is. So I had one female parole officer. She seen sneakers and she knew they was like $3,100, and she went crazy. Oh, them sneakers is $3,100. I'm telling your parole officer. So when she thought she was doing something, so when she came into the cubicle and she was like, you know how much them sneakers he got on course? An older parole officer came in there. My man, he was like, an older guy, but I was with him for years. He was like, oh, that's Hardy, man. He owned a funeral home, man. Leave him alone. So she was like, huh? I was like, yeah, you tripping over my sneakers, bitch. You bug it out. You don't even know who I am. But when I come home, that's my occupation. See, what happens is this, right? People, funeral homes don't like to cremate. They don't like to take the Jersey because the cremation is all in the package. You understand what I'm saying? So
no, make that plain for me.
Okay, like at the funeral home, right? Whoever's doing your service, and if you pick the cremation, it's all in your life insurance package. So they already paid. Okay. You dig what I'm saying? And I have a life, so it only costs me $150, but I charge a family $750, $800 to cremate their loved one, and I sell you earn to put your loved one in. Well, so off each cremation, I make here $1,200 profit, and sometimes I might have 5 to 6 cremation to do in a week. I mean, I didn't. I mean, once I do parole for 90 days, once parole get off my back, I leave, and my mother, God bless her soul, she'd be pissed off, but who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? I grew up in a funeral home all my life. You know, I grew up in a funeral home. The same funeral home I grew up in is the same funeral home I buried my mother and father in. And ever since a kid,
God rest their soul.
thank you. Ever since a kid, I knew we was gonna have them here. You know what I'm saying? They pictures is in here. So, you know, I talked to my brother. I talked to my brother once. But see, my brother do life insurance. I do headstones, and my sister run a funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a lucrative business.
if
I mean, some nigga die every day.
but see, people say that, but it's all in your reputation,
Absolutely.
and it's all in your respect level. Because funeral homes do word of mouth. So if the people who run the funeral home don't have good behavior conduct, no one's going to tell a peoples if they pass, hey, won't you go to Jefferson funeral home, or hey, won't you go down to DeKalb funeral home? If you have a nasty disposition when you're dealing with these loved ones, no one's going to speak a word about your place.
Shit, man, I'm from Detroit, man. Motherfuckers don't be having money to bury. Sometimes motherfuckers don't be having money to bury their folk. Like, I got life insurance too on myself that makes sure if when I check out this bitch, my kids hit the lottery, wifey hit the lottery. Ding,
Right.
ding, 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 ding.
Right.
I push that bitch up every year.
That's
a little bit more. A little bit every year I live, I push it up a little bit more. You feel me?
Fact, the African American culture is just starting to learn about life insurance. What they don't know is that's how all the rich white people is rich now, or for life insurance policy.
Absolutely. And I told wifey to burn me. I'm going to hell anyway. Put me in the fire, give me an urn, you know what I'm saying? All that extra shit. Like I said, I got a list of motherfuckers. If he cry, give him this cap and put him the fuck out, because that nigga didn't give a fuck about me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Fuck him. I know what's gonna happen when I check out this bitch.
Yo,
you feel me?
The African American community was never taught about life insurance because they never. Man, don't talk about that. This is why 80% of African American households, when someone passes away, they got to do a GoFundMe page, or they all run around trying to make money because they don't know the logic of life insurance. The African American community is being educated on it, but 10, 15 years ago, you tell somebody about a life insurance policy, if they black, they be like looking at you like, what, you trying to kill me? You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Little do you know, you can take a policy out on anybody and just keep paying it.
Mm-hmm.
I can take a policy out on you and pay it every year, keep it paid up. And then if something happens to you, I can take this, say, hey, listen, that's my, I had a policy. I'm going to give his kids this. I'm going to pay this, and I'm going to take that.
Slow down, my nigga. I got you on tape just in case you try that shit. Y'all all heard him say, no, I'm just bullshitting, man. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, though. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of motherfuckers not smart enough to think like that. It's absolutely what you said. Or a motherfucker trying to kill me, or a nigga ain't even smart enough to think about death. And that shit is one thing that's a constant in life is death. You gonna die, nigga. You gonna leave this motherfucker one way or the next, nigga. So why you leaving debt on your family or whatever? GoFundMe or what? Nah. Like I said, I told wifey, shit, send me to the fire, put me in an urn, and do what you do with me. Shit, spread me or keep me, however you do it. But I'm out of here.
They think they mother or whoever is in their caretaker or selling or they sneakers or probably bullshit them in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got guys starting to get hit to it now, which is a good thing. You feel me? But years ago, I grew up every morning before I went to school. You know where I was at every morning as a kid?
Where's that?
In a funeral home. My mother had me in a funeral home at 5 o'clock in the morning. Me and my little brother.
You don't think that should desensitize you? I gotta ask you again. You don't think you were desensitized to death at an early age?
Of course. I look. I love my mom. I love my mom to death. You hear?
Mm-hmm.
And I have no connection to her after. Like there's no there's none of there's no sadness. It's just that she's dead.
Absolutely.
So I don't when
Respect.
I hear that about the dying late, that's messed up. I don't have capacity. I don't have capacity for my own.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to put it on anyone, and definitely not your parents. But I'm saying no, you say you was in a funeral home from the age of 11 to 12 years old, and you seeing death on a constant basis, and then what you went through later on in life and the way you played the game at such a heavy level like that, that all plays a part, if you ask me. You feel me?
It makes you. I used to like my mother owned a brownstone, right? And that's in Brooklyn. And her bedroom was very, very big, right? And she had a wooden canopy bed, right? And my room was next to hers, which is the backyard room, right? And I used to go, and my mother had these wooden doors that you had to open up like this to get on her bedroom, right? And she had this big wooden canopy bed with the curtains closed, right? And I used to go and look at people on her back, right? And I used to say in my mind, I'm gonna have to put you in a coffin like that one day.
Break that down.
Like my mom would be asleep, and I in the room see if she's dead or alive. I don't know if she stopped asleep, but I'm in her room, and I look at her. She'd be on her back, knocked out, and I said to myself, I would always say to myself, one day she's in a casket like that. And I did my own. I dressed her. I put her pearls on, like but I don't have no. How can I explain it? I don't have no connection. I don't. You understand what I'm saying? I have no feelings that day.
Absolutely. I
My
can
mother
understand that.
growing up,
I can wholeheartedly understand. Everybody don't have the same connection that
like
everybody else have with. You know
like
what I mean?
growing up in the funeral business, it kind of do something to you. As I think now, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It like I became. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be real with you, right? I ain't gonna keep it real. Like I always do, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Growing up in the funeral business, it made me it it made me how can I say it? It made me obsessed with the
Say that again. You kind of broke up a little bit. You said it made you an accessory.
no, it made me obsessed. Like it made me it made me I'm looking for the right word. It it made me I can't find that word. Like I became in love with seeing people in a casket and not able to move.
Man, I don't know how to take that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, yeah, that's what it did to me.
I don't know how to take. Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. You say you became obsessed with seeing people in a casket.
Mm-hmm. Cause like, what's the thing when you man like not what's the word when you like? It, I was mesmerized by that, like seeing them just dressed up and not able to move, like they just there, like
Okay, I'm gonna take you here then. Let's put it in terms like this. I was desensitized to guns and violence because it was life or death situations for me. Oftentimes, it would be niggas trying to kill me. See, the game was elevated for me very early, 11, 12, 13, niggas trying to kill me as opposed to jump me or whoop my ass or this and that and the other, you feel me? So that kind of desensitized me to violence, guns, and everything else. It made me up my levels in order to be here to talk to you today. I said that to say this. You, the way you came up, what you just described to me, explains why you would bust your gun so easily. Now, I don't know if you see it like that. You're obsessed. You just said you're obsessed with seeing motherfuckers in a casket. You grew up in a funeral home. You took motherfuckers to and from being cremated. So death is nothing to you at a certain point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you conquer that type of weight on your conscience?
I don't have a conscience. I want a conscience. I want one, but it seems like I can't get it.
You don't feel nothing when you pull the trigger.
No. I want to feel
Me
something.
neither, especially when it's an op. But okay, let's just say it's an innocent in the way somewhere. Let's just hypothetically speaking, let's just say it's a situation after we get off the live where a motherfucker say, I just saw you was on some bullshit, nigga, and you got to whip out on them, they whip out on you, and the innocent get hit. You don't feel nothing about that.
Now, being at the age I am now, I will definitely feel some way about the innocent. But if you take me back to when I was 16, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Absolutely. I can respect that. I can absolutely respect that, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, now me being older, almost a half 100, I wouldn't want to see no innocent person be struck by anything that wasn't meant for them. But when I was 16 years old, I didn't give a fuck if you was innocent or who you was. I wouldn't give a fuck about the dog.
Hey, my OGs taught me grandma goldfish. You feel me? Shit, when it all came down to the come down back in the day, it was everything moving from grandma to goldfish gotta go. Like you say, you feel me? Down to the dog.
Right. But I definitely say, yo, growing up in that lifestyle of a funeral business, it really plays a part on how a person is structured for life. And I don't know if my mother did that on purpose, because I was in public school. From first grade, my mother had me up and out the house at 4:45, and we was at her funeral home eating breakfast, granola cereal in the funeral home to 6 o'clock. Then she'd take me to school and make me stay outside for an hour till the school opened up to 7.
You got some resentment toward her for that, you think?
No. She's a beautiful mom. Great. She was great. Look, she was great. I love my mom.
I mean, oftentimes they have to do that shit out of necessity. Like I remember my mama did hair when I was younger. She later became a teacher, but I remember having to go and sit at her motherfucking hair school before she became a beautician. When she was learning that shit, I had to go and play in they little play pen. And I got one of my lifelong friends from that. You feel me? Nigga I knew since I was 3 years old came out there. So you did what you just described is kind of the same situation.
Yeah, your sound. I hear you though.
My sound fucked up?
Little bit.
My bad, man. I've been trying to fix this shit the whole broadcast, man.
Yeah, it's kind of good now. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good, man.
Like my mother was a bare minimum mom, like very structured. She was raised by my great grandmother is the daughter of a slave master.
Okay.
You
The
understand?
daughter of a slave master.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna break it down to you. Right? You listening?
I'm listening.
My grandmother Albie, right? Her father is a slave master from Alabama. Albie had Maggie. Maggie wanted to have her kids by the blackest man that she could have them by, because she came from Albie, who came from the slave master. So Maggie had 4 kids by the darkest man she could have had kids by. And that's how my grandmother became my mother, which is Shirley. And then Shirley had Sheila, my mother Sheila. So Albie took Sheila from Shirley because Shirley was too young when she had my mother. So my mother was raised by the slave master daughter. And then she was returned back to her mother at 14 years old. So she was already structured different, being that she was raised by the slave master daughter.
Understood.
So
how did that play in your DNA?
Fucked up, man. I'm fucked up.
Shit, man.
I'm
I don't think you fucked up.
I mean, I don't, not in that kind of sense, but like being that I carry that blood. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's not that far down the line. Look, Albie, Maggie, Shirley, Sheila. Albie takes Sheila from her granddaughter Shirley and raised Sheila. Albie is a slave master daughter.
Absolutely.
So that's my third grandmother who was a slave master daughter.
So I don't know. I mean, you were the fair shade of skin or whatnot. Was it a color game in your family or whatnot?
No, my father is Japanese and Dominican.
Japanese and Dominican.
My father.
That explains a lot. Absolutely.
Right. He's Japanese and Dominican.
And your mother is black?
My mother is black and white.
Oh, so she get white. You said she's the slave? Right.
No. Remember, her great grandmother is a slave master daughter.
Right. Her great grandmother is the slave master's daughter. So that's a white woman. Right. Or a mixed woman, basically, a child of, maybe possibly a child of rape. Or whatnot, because back in the slave days, they used to rape our women or whatnot.
Right. See, she was raped. My Albie mother, who I don't know, was an Indian woman who was raped by the slave master, had 4 kids by him, and then they escaped from Alabama and made it to Queens, New York.
Man, salute to the bloodline, man. Sometimes when you take a trip back to those days, it's amazing what they had to go through in order for us to be here doing this today, to get to this point. You know what I'm saying?
And the story is,
that's why I don't think you fucked up. You talking about you fucked up? Nah, nigga, that ain't nah. Not the man I talked to on the phone. Shit, right. That nigga is calculated. He clever. He know what the fuck is going on out here. You ain't fucked up. No. You might got some issues, as everybody does. Right. But ain't nobody fucked up.
Right. I reframe that word. I say issues, man. That's a hell of a mix, man. You hear me? And then just to know that my great grandmother is the daughter of a slave master, man. That's
Yeah, that's deep. Not to switch lanes off that like that, but I need to get to a couple more points because we get into a few
down too.
Hours in.
We'll get back tomorrow. We'll do it. We locked in, man.
Okay, well that's what's up then. We'll take where you want to go.
Get one more now. Come on, we can get it in real quick.
I want to know, like I asked you earlier, when you came home, what was your mind state in order to basically become the man that after the second stretch, of course, because like you said, you got locked up on violations or whatnot.
Right.
And then too, yeah, we locked in. We're gonna talk about that another time. I ain't gonna even get to that. But what gave you the mind state to create an empire?
Well, the as for like the music terms and things, when I came home, we was already running with the whole Billy Badass record thing, like yo, Billy Badass, we the new Death Row, follow Protocol Blood, we the Mob. We was already running with that. It was just so happened we was able to get an artist and apply that to him. It shot through the roof. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was down the line in regards of the situation. But when I came home, you know, I always knew how to get the money, but I had to be more smarter because I'm not trying to, you know, be back in this situation when I don't have to be. So I used the money I made from the cremation service to put it into other things. And I created my glass house tombstone that I designed that cover people's headstones. That's my personal business. I do.
Now, I mean, they say, like I asked you earlier, they say the funeral business is pretty lucrative.
It
Now,
is.
I take it that your family has a pretty good reputation, being that y'all been in the business so long. Does
Yeah.
that rub off on you in the tombstone business as well?
Um, I, I, I make a covering. It's called Glass House Tombstone Protectors, and I cover your headstone where you can leave things behind without it being damaged by the weather, animals, or anything. It'll be protected. Whether you want to leave a hat, a sneaker, a card, I don't know anything. You know, we cover the headstone.
So what you're saying is, if I contracted you to do my headstone while I'm living, of course, I could send you, say, whatever I wanted to keep in decent condition on my headstone or whatnot, and you would encase it and develop the headstone for me as for when I pass away.
I don't do the headstone. I make the casing that goes over your headstone.
Word, word. Okay, okay. That's what's up. See, I never even knew that business existed. You know what I'm saying? And like you said in the thing, you got that's one thing we need to get to before we leave this segment is the three. What you said, you had 3 lanes for the youth.
Shout out to I created that when I was in the penitentiary as well. 3 straight lanes. Go straight, stay straight, keep straight. It's a non-profitable organization for at-risk youth and young adults. And we basically showing them, listen, you got 3 lanes, man. You got 3 lanes in this shit. You got the straight lane of success, you got the lane to the penitentiary, and you got the lane to the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
The wrong turn, and that could be your ass. You might not be as lucky as me or blessed as me to survive a neck and head shot or a life sentence. So I tell the kids and whoever I could come across is the best way to go is straight, man. That's why it's go straight, stay straight, keep straight, man. You know, and I hear some people might hear me talk, but I say sometimes I have to say some extraordinary things so people can listen. You know, our culture, we don't want to listen unless it's extraordinary and it's out of line. Then we'll listen. So I've said some things in last videos that might offend some people, especially my African American brothers. But if I didn't say it, they wouldn't listen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So some things have to be said in certain ways to get the attention of the ignorant.
I absolutely understand that, especially dealing in the media the way I do. You preaching to the choir, homie. You feel me? I go through the same shit.
So some things I said on live with other people's, and I can't be, for one, I'm not a racist. My mother's black. But I have to
Mm-hmm.
understand this. Dealing with my culture, if you ain't saying something that's outrageous, they don't want to hear you, man.
I'm not even gonna say it like that. I'm gonna say if you're not garnering attention. And often nowadays, you know, they used to say the loudest voice in the room is the weakest voice in the
Right.
room, but nowadays the loudest voice in the room is the most popular. Thus, we got Charleston White
Right.
on the internet running shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everywhere on the internet because he's the loudest voice in the, and he say the most bullshit out here. I used to fuck with that boy, but I don't fuck with him no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When he first came out, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, as I do anyone. But he just started to say some of the wildest shit. And the last, you know how I feel about men inviting other men to their genital section.
Oh yeah.
This nigga talking about he flashed his dick on his lives and this and that and the other, and niggas still come back. That made him seem like some type of metrosexual or fanny pack ass nigga to me, and I don't respect that. So I can't fuck with him for real. You know what I'm saying?
It's something. It's something ain't right. You know, it's some kind of screw missing somewhere. You feel me?
Absolutely.
You know, like that.
And I didn't even mean to go there. I'm sorry to take it there, homie. But like I say, some shit just resonates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, like I said, you know, sometimes, man, you know, you got to get a message across, man. And my thing is, like I said, you know, I made a pact, right? Because, you know, I wasn't supposed to survive this assassination. I got hit in my fetch nerve, the third vertebrae. When you get shot there, you're supposed to die immediately. Your third vertebrae and your fetch nerve is what controls everything on your body, from your pinky toe to what you think. Your fetch nerve, not your brain, not your heart. When that fetch nerve or that third vertebrae get hit, you die immediately. That's it. That's why everybody who gets shot almost in the neck, they die immediately. Then versus the head or the chest. So understand that I was able to get up from these shots. You hear me? If you understand,
Absolutely.
you know, I was able to get up. Niggas left me for dead, face down. I was able to get up and walk 3 long blocks and then get handcuffed. Get handcuffed with IVs and a neck brace on and a head wrap. And then go to jail a few hours later. So me saying this is to say I made a pact and I have to fulfill my pact. And my thing is like these kids, like I told you, these kids don't know they look until they in a cold cell, and I take that mirror and slide it over to their cell. And the look I see on that kid in that cell ain't the same look in the pictures he sent over to me to my cell. You understand me?
I understand completely.
He ain't that kid that's in the picture with his homies standing next to the Benz or the Lexus. He ain't that kid no more. That's a different kid in that cell right now. So I want to show them. Let me show you how you look before you go in there, shorty. Let me save you now before you get 29 and you be saying, damn, 15 years passed, the world didn't change. I lost everybody. Because what they don't tell these niggas in the street is this. This is what they don't tell the youth. Everybody gonna die in your family if you got 10 years and more. Everybody's gonna die. You dig what I'm saying?
I was tripping. I heard a young nigga tell me, or not tell me, but he told another nigga that he'd do 10 years and come home still in his prime. Like, nigga, first of all, you don't have to come home at all from a 10-year sentence. And when you come home, home could not be a home at all, nigga. Like you said, you could lose mom, pops, bro, whoever, whatever support system you had could be all fucked up by the time you make it out the joint.
Right. This the dumb shit that the older guys put in these young kids' heads when they say, shorty, you 15, you go put it in, you be home when you 25. But what they don't tell them is this, shorty, you 15, you go get 10. A nigga might kill you soon your cell door open.
Absolutely.
Shorty.
Absolutely.
You 15, you go do 10. You might kill something and get another 20 added on to that 10. So now you coming home when you 55. They don't tell them that.
Absolutely.
They don't tell them that. They just gonna tell you,
Absolutely.
man, you young shorty, you could do a dime. You gonna be home in no time. How you know that? Because I know motherfuckers who had 3 years and they ain't make it home. I seen the police come to their cell and put that chain on their cell. You know what that mean? That mean he's in the hospital on a machine and they waiting to contact his family to say, hey, listen, our policy don't cover this motherfucker to be on here for 4 or 5 days. What you want to do with this body, man? Because we taking him off this machine. You know, I done seen dudes' cells get locked up because they was in programs somewhere and another guy lost a bet and bust a nigga in the head with a steel plate and you in program. You're dead. COs come to your cell, lock your cell up for a few days, come pack your property up. Whoever your next of kin, come pick it up, come pick this body up, and it's over. He had 50 years. It's over. He ain't got to do no time now.
Man, that shit. Shout out to my guy Goshay Ill, man. He was a Moor. Goshay Ill, he was a live buyer, man, and he lost his mother, which was basically the only person he fucking cared about when I was doing my time in the penitentiary. And I remember him going to the box like 2 hours after he learned his mother passed away because the fucking COs, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, Snow. The COs didn't disrespect him. It was just, you know, he lost everything at the moment in the penitentiary when he found out his mother passed. So he wasn't willing to take orders no more. You know, in the joint, it's count time. They go on your bump. Whatever the fuck ever the COs say, and when you don't play and they hit that button, they gonna come. And I watched him fuck like 3 or 4 of them up just to get that frustration off of him for being in the penitentiary when his mother passed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, shit, all that shit plays on men in different ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yo, man, listen, man, let's we gonna do a part 3, man. Let's shut this shit out. I gotta go handle something, man. It was a pleasure though, bro. And let's get back on. I'm gonna hit you up and we get back on in the field. You hear me?
Absolutely. I appreciate you popping out, man. Respect to you. And like I said, I appreciate you coming out and fucking with me, you know?
You already know, man. Let's tap back and I'm gonna hit your line, all right? Yo, shout to audience out, man. SB, man. 3 straight lanes. Go straight. Stay straight. Shoot straight. You heard me?
I ain't say it again. Say it again for me.
Say 3 straight lanes. Go straight, stay straight, keep straight, man.
Absolutely. Go straight, stay straight, and keep straight. 3 straight lanes, man. Respect that.
Yo, let's tap back in later on, all right?
Yes, sir. 100.
Thank you, man. Shout everybody out on the platform, man.
They'll tell you I ain't never been a bitch, nigga. I pop niggas, bitch, I'm really with the shits, nigga. I hit niggas double barrel to his abs when that Mossberg hit him. Watch a nigga do a dance. These pussy niggas wanna see me dead. Since about 09, I done had a ticket on my head. I kill shooters, tell that nigga get his bread back. ATM the gang, I send that nigga head back. Whoever said that love begets love was wrong. I'm from a city where blood begets blood. And slugs hit niggas mug. That ain't bugs and cuffs. That's choppers for that loose talk. I'm coming plug you up. Pussy, push me, I bet he never see it.